Benvenuto! Welcome to this recap and review of The Morning Show, Season 2, Episode 7. Italy looks lovely and being rich seems really nice, even if you have been cancelled. Just a reminder before we dive in that if you haven't watched this episode yet, there will be spoilers ahead, so tread carefully. This video is about me sharing my thoughts and my opinions, and I'd love to hear what you think about the episode too, and indeed the season so far. So please do like, comment and subscribe as we dive into Season 2, Episode 7, La Amara Vita, The Bitter Life. They are taunting me now with that long opening approach to Mitch's sensational Italian villa, mansion. I don't care, I'm so obsessed. So I was a little disappointed to read in Variety this week that it's actually a converted high school in Pasadena. It's in LA and it's been digitally added into the landscape in Lake Como. I have been taken in by the movie magic of it all. Except maybe not when Mitch walked out onto the veranda. I could really sense some CGI shenanigans then, but not enough to take me out of the story. And it's interesting that the episode opens with this grand, sweeping visual lie about this house, while the episode kickstarts with a conversation about trust between Paula and Mitch. He wants her to delete the interview that she recorded 2 episodes ago. He trusts her, he says, but these things have a way of getting out. Now, Paula does not feel trusted and she storms off to get the laptop to show him that she's going to delete the file. Enter Alex. We last saw her on the private plane when she skipped out on the debate with her back pain, which is still present after the trip to Italy. Did you get a new limp? Mitch asks her. Alex is in Italy to get a statement from Mitch to contradict the book. He says he didn't say anything had happened between them, but she wants him to actively deny it. Nobody will respect me if they think I slept with you, Alex says. So is that true? Do we not respect Alex because she slept with Mitch? I'm not sure how I feel about Alex at all at this point. I can't get a handle on who she is. I feel on uneven ground with her. It often feels like we're getting her point of view and we should at least be partly sympathetic towards her. But I'm just not sure why we should be caring about her. How do we relate to her and her situation? Anyway, during this fraught exchange, Mitch also calls out Alex's motives. Even the fictional characters are confused by the motives of the other characters. He says, I've made some really bad decisions, things I'm not proud about. But even though I feel remorse, I'm the person who did those things. So I know that I am no angel. And here I thought you were doing this to keep Lizzie from knowing, or Jason from looking foolish. But it was the mere fact that having consensual sex with me was so vile that it will end your life. He really wants Alex to see how selfish she is. But dropped in the middle there is that line about keep Lizzie from knowing or Jason from looking foolish. And I really thought that we were getting a hint at Lizzie's paternity that I discussed in an earlier video. And I am still convinced that this could be the case. But Paula arrives back, not with the laptop ready to delete the files, but looking for some cigarettes. Smoking is a big part of Paula's character, huge, and it's going to play an important part later. She excuses herself as if she hasn't heard them yelling through the house already. Alex assumes that Mitch and Paula are sleeping together, but he says he doesn't want to sully her with the permanent stink of having me, which was a line I really enjoyed, especially as it is essentially true. We have seen him rebuff her more than once at this stage, I think. Alex gets Mitch's new number and tries to leave, but is trapped by the driveway gates. She reminds Mitch of the door in his dressing room, and he says it only closed the door, it didn't lock it. But we for sure heard a locking sound when Mia hit that button last season. And I know because I went back and checked. Mitch states that their sexual encounters were consensual, and Alex doesn't deny it. He asks if she was really going to say that he had raped her, and she doesn't reply. She gulps and says, "Just to confirm, you'll release that statement." So we aren't getting any closure either way around that potential thread either. This opening reunion between these two just feels a bit like we've had to get through this initial required writing to get to where we want to be, which is looking for this episode to take us somewhere new, exciting, and somewhere deeper and different. But at this stage, we're just rehashing old news. Writers have to make things difficult for the characters. Growth doesn't come easily for them, but the difficulty is making that interesting for audiences who are highly attuned at watching TV. No one watching thought this was the last that Mitch and Alex were going to see each other this episode. So this scene really doesn't do much beyond letting us know why Alex was there. Kind of. Did she really need to be there? And it also had the effect of removing Paula from the house after she shows Mitch that she has deleted the file, eventually. Show of hands for who believed that she had actually deleted the file. What an absolute waste of dialogue. As she leaves, she tells us that the professor has died of COVID. Just a reminder that COVID is serious. Alex nearly falls asleep at the wheel and she pulls over for a nap and then wakes up surrounded by goats and a handsome policeman telling her it's a lockdown and she needs to make arrangements. With the phone number that Mitch has given her, she's able to contact him and surprise, surprise, she returns to La Dolce Villa. Mitch has left a trail of notes for her. He says he doesn't want to see her because it's too painful. She cries, she breaks a glass, and suddenly, over his pain instantly, Mitch appears. Maybe the glass was cursed and all of his pain was lost when it smashed on the floor. As they sit together in the smashed glass, she says, "I'm trapped in Italy, I don't know what I'm doing or who I'm supposed to be, and I just miss you." And they hug. They are reunited again. They talk. They play Trivial Pursuit. They dance. Alex tells a story of thinking she might have been pregnant after sleeping with Mitch and wanting to keep the baby, but it was just a late period. I don't buy it. That late period has got to be Lizzie, surely. Anyway, they dance more. Her back is okay, her back is not okay. They lie together on the ground, and there is just generally a somber, dark feeling. I thought Mitch was going to jump out of a window when he walked off at one point. This whole sequence feels like a different show. It was kind of unsettling and didn't feel particularly safe for either character, and yet they both looked so comfortable. The tone, I think, was perhaps setting us up for the end of the episode. From lying on the ground, Mitch gets up and turns on the TV, and the story that Mia got sent from Vanity Fair last week has hit the headlines. Mitch was targeting black women with his sexual harassment. It's all hit the fan again for Mitch, so Alex needs to bail again. This is probably the best moment in the episode, and it shows us how much potential Mitch's storyline had. He says he wasn't doing that he is attracted to black women, and that he remembers when that was progressive. And Alex retorts, just because you didn't mean to do it, doesn't make it okay. Doesn't it count for something? He asks back. And it's a great question. If you don't know you're doing something, is that less bad than consciously doing something bad? The impact on those affected is still the same, but how important is intention when assessing someone's guilt? Premeditated murder gets a harsher sentence than manslaughter. Carell is great here, giving us Mitch as a helpless man boy. I guess I don't have the tools to understand. Could you teach me? Teach me. Could you teach me, Alex? I want to be better. I want to be a better person. Please. No, seriously, Alex. I want to be a good person. It is so desperate. But why can he not take the responsibility for his own learning? He's a multi-millionaire. Look at the house. Pay someone to teach you. Give money to the people you've impacted. It isn't just saying sorry. It's putting your learning and guilt into action. And I think this is partly what Paula is supposed to symbolise. The manic pixie dream woman forcing him to help her in order to give him some shred of decency that he has done the right thing by her. Especially by handing her off to Alex in this episode. I feel like we're supposed to feel bad for Mitch that he's ill-equipped for this new world, but he has all of the skills. He is a journalist, he's reminded us before, and he has money to equip himself. Much like Yanko in the last episode, there's a sense of entitlement that they should be educated, and that entitlement seems to come from the writers too, because no one is challenging them directly to do their own homework. Back to the show, Mitch and Alex hug, but it's also a transaction. Mitch releasing the statement for Alex looking out for Paula. And this really does feel like a goodbye. But Mitch, in fact, texts Paula and heads over to see her, and that turns into a booty call. In the pillow talk, we find out that P.S. shock! She didn't delete the interview! And also, she's run out of cigarettes. Big part of Paula's character. So Mitch agrees to go and get her some post-coital cigarettes. And somehow, he accidentally, or on purpose, drives off a cliff. Fade to white. Like everything else on this show, Mitch's death is ambiguous. Was it an accident? Was it intentional? Was he just accepting his fate as he takes his hands off the wheel? The intention feels like it's been there for much of this episode, and it felt like he had said goodbye to Alex at least 3 times. I know we might not see each other again, etc., etc. Paula saying that the little death makes you yearn for the big death. This episode felt like a gift to Steve Carell for even agreeing to be in this season, because it was all about him and not really driving any plot points forward or developing any characters. There was a rehash of many old conversations, and yet I think what we have to prepare ourselves for is for Mitch Kessler to be somehow redeemed as the characters process his death. I'm most interested to see what Karen Pittman does with Mia handling the news. This episode really lent heavily on the morning show's constant themes of truth and lies. Mitch, Alex and Paula are all liars, but they're also all hard truth tellers, a bit like Bradley. But I don't feel enlightened or moved or elevated. The show feels like it's holding together as well as Alex is at the moment. And just as Alex has forgotten all about her own book and is obsessed with Maggie Brenner's, the show has forgotten all about Bradley Jackson this week. They spoke more about Laura Peterson than Bradley, because our 2 leads are not connected at all. I can't remember the last time they had a scene together this season. It's just not one show, it's 2 stories sitting side by side with some connections. The season does not have a cohesive arc that I can hold on to, and it feels a little like it's careering off a cliff itself. Season 1 though picked up towards the end as the threads fell into place, so maybe all will become clear soon, but I'm starting to feel a little bit of La Maravita myself as I sit down to watch these days. And I am bitterly disappointed by that. It is a good show often, and I've really enjoyed the performances. And I'm not one to duck out on a season midway through, so I will be back again next week, waiting to see what happens when the TMS crew find out about Mitch fading to white. How Alex handles having or not having the statement she wanted from Mitch. So tell me, where are you with the morning show this season? Do like, comment and subscribe to join me in this conversation and share your thoughts. I'd love to know if you agree or not. See you next time.